Hey, welcome to the stream, and my name is Peter, also known as CyberDragon, and I will be doing a stream weekly to put some game genres together and show you how to put games together, mechanics, custom assets to make them work mechanically, and answer any questions you might have as well. So thanks for joining today. So last time I streamed, I created this big wheel. So this big wheel here is a multiplayer wheel. I'll quickly go over it since we're going to be using this in our creation today. So every player who joins the map, it's multiplayer, will have 200 money, and it will cost 40 money to spin the wheel, and you get a chance to win something or lose it all, or even try to get the 500 jackpot. So that's how it works. Low volume. Alright, thanks Woke Zombie. This is new now. I'm trying to set it up on OBS, so hopefully that's a little bit better. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Alright, so we're going to be building a... I updated the stream title, but yeah, it hasn't updated on the stream itself. It's all new to me. I had to install OBS, whereas before I was using Streamlabs, and you can't really update the title in OBS, but you can in Streamlabs. I prefer Streamlabs already, just using OBS. So get in there, we'll work it out. So we're going to make a battle royale game, multiplayer game, where we can battle on an arena for about a minute, and you will get cash depending on how long you survive, and you can get spawned in a lobby and spend that money on upgrades and things for the next battle. And we'll have a ready section where players will say they're ready to be spawned in the next game, or you can just hang around in a lobby and look at the upgrades and spend your cash, that sort of thing. So that's what we'll be building today. And we have a shop feature as well to spend your money on upgrades. But first we'll design the game itself, and then we'll spawn all the little things in between. So what we'll do is we'll have the game down below and a lobby above. So as the game's happening, players above who aren't in the game can watch. We'll go to about here, and we'll start building from the center. So we're going to get a block of some sort. Let's use a yellow block. And we want to try to find the middle of the map exactly. And the only way I know how to do that is just to build blocks diagonally until I can find the exact center. And this will be important for our platforms later on. So we'll jump into VoxEdit, and yeah, we'll make some custom assets for this game as well. Wasn't planning on streaming today, so been caught off guard. But next stream I will have assets to give away, and we'll have some competitions to do on stream as well. And it's just a slow process to find the middle, but we'll get there eventually. Alright, so that will be our center. And we probably want the last platform to be we'll say 8 by 8. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So about here. Okay, so we got our center. And what we'll do now is we will have to build a battle arena where we have platforms that start disappearing and the edges get smaller and smaller. And that way people are forced to battle it out and progress into the center. Alright, so we'll hop into voxedit, and what we'll do is we'll build 4 by 4 blocks, and we'll build them long as well. So how do we do this? We'll probably build 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 by 4, is that probably the way to go? Probably too many. We'll probably do 6 by 6. Or should we just stick to 8 by 8? We'll try 8 by 8 and we'll go from there. Alright, I'll save this and we'll hop into voxedit. And I think I gotta swap the program around. Oh, sorry. Just seeing now, you can't see anything on my OBS. So basically what we did here is we just put blocks to the center to try to get the center of the map. And we're just going to work out how to create a lobby system here. Sorry about that. OBS is confusing me at the moment. And it's clearly showing. Alright, so we've got, we'll switch back to voxedit. And in voxedit, we're going to start creating the platform. So we're going to go create new asset. We'll call this 8 by 8. And we'll click save. And click holder. And what we'll do here, we'll create a new VXM. We'll call that 8 by 8. And we want a platform that's 8 blocks by 8 blocks, which is 256 by 256. We'll keep it 16 high, we don't need it 32 high. And we'll go ahead and just fill that in with our favorite color. And we'll go ahead and do center and floor. Go ahead and save. Alright, so now we've got our platform. I'm just going to go ahead and upload that to the workspace. And I'll switch back to Game Maker while that happens. Alright, so you can't see it at the moment, but I have a window open to fill in the information. For this asset upload. Okay, that should be good. Now we'll go back to Game Maker, and let's see if it updates straight away. There it is. So you don't even have to reset Game Maker anymore. The asset we made is right there. So I'm going to go ahead and delete and bring this in. And that will be 50, and this one here will be 50 as well. Now we just need one of these in each corner. And what we're building here is the start of our arena, where the floor will slowly shrink, and we just basically use platforms to do that. Alright, so we'll get our first start. Just trying to work out the best way to do this. So now we can use big pieces that go across here. So 8, 16, lands are 96 by 96. Take away 16 is 80 left over. So if we go back into Vox Edit, I don't know if Vox Edit shows properly. Yes, it does. So we'll open up this asset again. Okay. And we're going to make this asset long. So it will be outer border, long edge. Wait, it was 80, wasn't it? So 80 edge. Cool. And what we'll do here is, I don't even know what I did. Create child node. So if we want something that's 80 and this is 8, we want 10 of these. So we'll just say 1. Let me start again. We're going to duplicate node. We'll call this 2. And we'll duplicate this again. Call that 3. And this one should be 512. And we'll duplicate again. Bring out the calculator, 512 plus 256, and we can manually type that in there. 768. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got 4, and we can go ahead and duplicate node, call that 22, and we can go ahead and bring this over here as well. I'm guessing that will be 1024. And that will be it. So we have our 10, is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We need 2 more. So we're going to go ahead and duplicate this one. Just bring that over here. That's 256. And duplicate this one. And that's minus 1024, I think. Alright, so we'll get our long piece, and what we'll do is we're going to upload that so we can use that in the Game Maker. So I'm going to export that now. or upload to workspace, I should say. Hey chat, how's it going? Sorry, this stream's a little bit sloppy. I'm using the new software that I haven't used before and things aren't set up, and yeah, I'm a bit working it out as I go along. I'm waiting for the window to pop up now to upload this new asset, and then we'll delete 2 on the edges and upload a smaller one and smaller one and smaller one until we have all the pieces. So this prop here is 8 times 10, yellow 4. Okay, so that's uploaded. Now what we'll do is we'll delete this one and delete that one, and then we'll upload this to the workspace. Alright, just waiting for that window to open now. Doing it live, that's right. Alright, so just waiting for this now, and then we're going to delete another 2 and then just keep making smaller and smaller platforms. Alright, so we're going to pop up now, filling in the details. This is 8 by 8 long, yellow 4. Okay, so that's now done. Cool. Now we're going to delete edges again, and we're going to save that and upload that. It's probably frozen for you guys. I think VoxEdit does that sometimes. Yeah, so it's just showing a game maker now. That's alright, it won't be long. I'll finish uploading these assets and we're good. Thanks Bert, just noticed that too. It happens on this OBS for some reason. Okay, we're going to go 8 by 6. Alright, so that's uploaded, and now we're just going to delete this and upload this one. Just 2 more assets to upload, then we can go back into Game Maker. Okay, there's a prop, so this one here will be 8 by 4. Okay, that's uploaded, and now the last one is this one here, which is the 8 by 2. Go ahead and start that last upload. Yeah, our internet sucks here. I mean, I could pay $100 a month more and get something good, but it's just too expensive. Alright, and this is 8 by 2. Okay, so that's done. I'm going to hop out of the Vox edit side of things, come back into the game maker, and let's see if our objects are in here. Alright, we've got some. So we've got 8 by 10, 8 by 8, 8 by 6, 8 by 4, and 8 by 2. So let's bring up the 8 by 10, and you can see it should just fit in. Probably not perfectly, because it's probably not perfect, but it will be good enough. Actually, yeah, that's pretty good. So now we just need that on each side. So go ahead and don't need a meeting. Duplicate this. And I should put the basic platform on it, since that's what we'll be doing, and we want to move it in one direction, 8 spaces, sorry, by the Z space, so it moves exactly one length of itself across. And what we want here is, we can make the wait duration whatever. The speed will be 1 second. We want to toggle, and we want that toggle to be off, and we will send a message to toggle that on. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that, and I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to bring it down, rotate it 180, and just slide her in. There we go, and I think that should be okay. I mean, that's not showing correctly for some reason. I want to see if it does it properly if I do it from scratch. That's fine. Don't know why I did that. And we want to put this around the whole border of the map. So we're just going to see if we can duplicate this, rotate it. You see how it moves when I rotate it? Can I... bring it in the middle, rotate it, see how it changes with the rotation? Don't like that. Looks like we're going to have to manually do it. Oh, it's... nah. Here we go. Pop that out of our toolbar. And the same thing, we'll put the basic platform on and the toggle, so that way it doesn't move when the game begins. And you can see it's not in the correct position. I want to see if it actually moves correctly. Alright, it moves fine. I can ignore it. Cool. I'm just going to ignore it then, because it actually functions the way it should. So I don't need to freak out about this blue line not being aligned. And everything looks lined up exactly, so they're all 50s, they're all center. We'll get rid of this. Press F to zoom in on what you have selected. And it's where I want it to be, so that's good. And the corners here also need to have a basic platform. And toggles. Alright, so what we want is this one to end up in a corner over here. And that will do it. Okay, so now when they move, that will move diagonally and the edges will move in as well. They won't look exactly perfect, but you can spend time aligning it so it looks really good. It's just about adjusting the timing pretty much. Okay, so next we're going to do, we're going to duplicate this. I'm going to bring it to the next row. We want to do that for each corner. Okay, and now we're going to bring in the smaller piece that fits in between. And we'll just line that up, make sure it's 50, 50, so it sits in there perfectly. And we'll go ahead and give that a basic platform and a toggle. And we want it to move again 8, 1 and 20 seconds. You can do whatever number here, just long enough for the transition to happen. So go ahead and duplicate that, slide that in here. Only one adjustment needed, that's good. Duplicate, we'll rotate it around. Bring that in, and the last one. Cool, now we've got our second row complete. I'll go ahead and save that. And we'll do the same thing again until we get to the center. So we're going to duplicate. That looks like it's fine. Okay, and now we just need to put in the next piece. And just make sure this is lined up 50-50. Perfect. Again, we'll put in basic platform and we'll do toggle. We'll turn that off. And same numbers, 20, 1, 0, 8, minus 8. So this one here is missing its value, minus 8. Yep, that's fine. Alright, that's all good. Go ahead and duplicate that. And just make sure that's lined up again. And duplicate. Cool, and I think duplicate one more time. Okay, so far so good. We'll save that so we don't have to do it again. Alright, duplicate. And duplicate. Duplicate. The settings looked a bit weird then. See, it's added 3 copies to it. I think I've got to deselect it for it to go away. Now we want to add the next piece. Looks like this one is it. And we'll go ahead and add a basic platform as always, and a toggle. Turn that off. 20, 1, 0, and 8. And we'll go ahead and Control D to duplicate. Add that in the space, and that's all good. Duplicate again. And that's fitting in the gap as well. And the last one, Control D, rotate. Okay, now we've got one more to do. And then we've started the basic stuff we need for the floor. Just make sure that's lined up properly. So that offset being to the side, just a visual glitch? Yeah, it seems so. Just a visual. Okay, that's all lined up. Now we're just going to add our last piece. And our usual behavior and component. Turn it off. 20 seconds. 1, 0, and 8. Minus 8. Cool. Control D. Control D. And the last last one, something like that, right? Now we got our middle island. Which is about here. Alright, we'll save that, and now let's animate the floor over time, so that way the floor gets smaller and smaller and forces all the players battling to not fall off the edge or push each other off the edge. So now we need the toggling messages. So go ahead and select all the pieces around the border, because they'll be using the same message to turn on. We'll say push.1.on and push.1.off. Okay, we'll go ahead and select the middle, the next row. We'll do the same thing, push.2.on, push.2.off, push.3.on, and push.3.off. Push.4.on and push.4.off. And the last one, push.5.on and push.5.off. Okay. We'll set up a volume in the middle to trigger it straight away, and what we'll do is we'll test out the floor to see how it works and if it does what it's supposed to. If we miss some messages, we'll know about it. So I'll go ahead and add a volume, and the volume can just cover our area, it doesn't matter, it's just for testing. And the message we'll send out is start push cycle. Okay. Got a hair in front of my face. Oh, well, doesn't matter. Alright, so start push cycle, and what we can do is probably a timed event, and that will be start push cycle, and we'll want it to repeat, and we'll say after say 5 seconds we'll push.1.on. And we'll add some events for each one. So after, it's 1 second movement, isn't it? 1 second movement, that will take 8 seconds. So we'll make sure that it gives us time. So 8, so we'll just say every 10 seconds then. So we'll make that 15. And that will be push 2 on. Next one will be 25, and that will be push 3 on. Next will be 35, and that will be push 4 on. And the last one here will be 45, and that will be push 5 on. You can make adjustments later on. This is good for testing. How many basic platforms are too many for an experience? Good question. So when you put down an asset and you go to put a behavior on it, just say you want basic platform. When you put your cursor over it, it tells you how much is too many. So 51 basic platforms would be the max you would go. We're under our limit of 51, I think. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 fives are 40. So we're using 40 platforms in this case. I wouldn't want to use any more than that, because it's already quite high. Alright, so we have push cycle complete. Next, I'm going to, well, there's no point in testing it. Well, I'll test it so you can see, but the outer layers need to die as well before the next layer moves, otherwise you won't see the effect. So this one moves straight away, so one of the outer ones are toggled on here. So now none of them should be moving, and then after 5 seconds you can see it starts shrinking. And you can see the outer ones need a higher speed. To catch up, so maybe let's try 1.3, and let's see if that catches up with everything or is good enough. It's pretty close. Probably needs just a bit more speed. 1.35. Let's try that. Needs maybe 1.4. It was still too slow, and you just adjust it bit by bit until you're happy with the result. You're probably not going to get it perfect, but that's pretty good. Maybe we can do it just a little bit more. Let's do 1.45. It's just a little too quick now. 1.45, maybe 2.5. I don't know. Let's see if it does those little numbers. That's pretty much as good as we're going to get, I think. So 0.415. I'm going to test one more time because I'm curious. Hey, that's pretty good. It looks like 1.42 is the answer. So I'm going to go ahead and change all of these to 1.42. And now we've got a floor that looks like it goes together quite well. Okay, let's now kill off the floors underneath, and we can do that using a plant. So we can say floor, we'll say floor 1. Did we use 1 for the edges or 5? 1. So alright, so we'll do floor 1. We'll make it invisible, no collisions. And this one here will be a plant. And it will be kill floor 1. And we'll change this to floor 1, which it is. And we'll call that floor 1 plant. And what we'll do here is we will select our floor 1 outer area and we'll change that to floor 1 for the properties. And we can go to our hierarchy and type in floor 1 and you'll see all the pieces we need and we can parent it to our plant. Okay, so now when our plant dies, all the floors around it will die too. And that's just here. And now I can't duplicate that because it's all parented. So I'll just go ahead and put down a new one. No collisions. I'll call this plant. This one here will be floor 2 plant. And this one here will be kill floor 2. And I will duplicate this. And this one here will be floor 3. And it'll be kill floor 3. And you just need 1 for each of those, so you need 5 in total. So this one's floor 4 plant. And go ahead and kill floor 4. And the last one. Floor 5. And kill floor 5. Okay, cool. Now what I want to do is floor 2, and we're going to go ahead and select the middle floor 2 area and select all the pieces in that row. Okay, we're going to give it a name floor 2. We put that in a hierarchy and we go ahead and parent those. Next we're going to do floor 3. And we'll call that floor 3. Put that in a hierarchy and then we parent those to the plant. Next we want to do the 4th one. Name it floor 4. Do the hierarchy. Excellent. And the last one, just this middle area. Call that floor 5. Add that to the hierarchy and parent those. And that's it for this part of the map. The last thing we need to do is to kill off the plants with a timing so it doesn't look like it's mistimed. So we've got our timing here. So we could probably add one. So this is relative to this, isn't it? So if I put 5 seconds here, oh sorry, 14 seconds, and say kill plant 1, no, kill floor 1, and I need 8 seconds on that, so it will be 8 seconds, and here will be 8 seconds, and this one here will be kill floor 2. I think that's how it works. Let's test it out. Alright, the floor is shrinking. Yep, the floor is shrinking. And it does, it deletes exactly the way it should. And you can see now the floor is getting smaller and smaller. We won't have a floor over here, there'll be certain depth. And you'll see here we haven't got a message that kills this floor, so it works as intended. We can go ahead and keep doing what we're doing. So every 8 seconds it kills it off. So again, 8 seconds. This will kill floor 3. After 8 seconds, this will kill floor 4. And after 8 seconds, this will kill floor 5. Alright. I think we've got our basic arena working now for the function of the floor. We can go ahead and delete the floor underneath. And we should fall right through. Yeah. Alright, so now I just need to remove, oh whoops, duplicate this. We'll make this 50 by 50, and we'll remove the basic platform and remove the toggle. And this will be our floor 6, which will never go anywhere. Alright, save and test. Now, if it works as intended, all the floors should meet in the middle seamlessly and shrink our battle arena over time. We can adjust those numbers quite easily, and the way we set it up with the timed event, it will kill the floor without needing more adjustments, unless you make the floor move slower. And you can see our platforms getting smaller and smaller. And this is a great PvP kind of game, like a lot of games use this concept. And now we're on the last square, which goes nowhere, where you can battle. Alright, cool. Now what? How do we battle each other? Well, we can't attack each other. We know that. Is my... Just going to read my logic. Oh, I can't read my logic because that's alright. The floors are attached to it, but I can move that out the way. That's fine. So this is our timed event. That's all we need to worry about. Alright, so what we can do now is have players spawn to this area, and then next week I will show you how to create a lobby and join that game. Alright, so we won't have a lobby that big. We want to have it quite small and be able to see the action underneath. We'll have the big wheel near the center so players can try to increase their winnings from their battles, gamble it on the wheel to increase it. Only one player can spin at a time. We'll work out how to take turns soon. And then we have our shop, where we can buy upgrades. We'll integrate some upgrades in the future episode. But we have our floor now, and we want to make an area where you can be ready and then get teleported to the game arena once the timer has hit 0. We can use our meta block for this, maybe. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll make it so players can stand on here to be ready and to join a game. Can do that with a volume. Just don't select anything below because that will move and ruin the alignment. So here we'll have a box. That box can be 2 by, I don't know, 9, 5. Okay. That's pretty good. So when the player enters the box, the player joined. Do we want an argument? We'll add one just in case. We'll add a number, and we'll call it player joined. We can have 1, so it sends 1 to the rule system. And we will set up that sort of system now. I'll just save that. So we'll enter our rule system here. We already have a few things set up for the wheel that we made last stream. So now we can just do one for a lobby. So what we want is, we want a number for players joined. Have that as 0, we'll play that at the start. We'll have that at the bottom. And we'll create a rule to see that. Show players joined. We will make that an argument with true or false. So we can toggle that on and off with a message argument. The variable we want is the players joined, and we want that to be message argument. What else do we want? Hey Cosmos, how's it going? Alright, so we've got players joined now. And we can start a timer after a player is joined. So we'll go ahead and put a time and game start timer. We can have this cycle and it will automatically start the game every minute as long as there's 2 players. We'll show that at the bottom as well, just for the sakes of visual purposes to make sure it's all working. And we'll probably need a rule for that HUD as well. Show game countdown, we'll make that an argument, and it will probably be true or false again. So we've got a few message arguments to toggle on different banners for the players. And we'll bring our starting portal up here. And we'll change the timer so it doesn't, well, we got a something down here that triggers it straight away, but we want to change that so there's no the volume itself on here is the thing that sends it. So we'll go ahead and delete that, and we will have this on as start, just start game, and it will turn on the timers. Cool. We'll go back to our rules. We'll have a rule set up where it's time, and we'll have a start timer. And this timer here can be start countdown. And we'll use the game start timer, and the duration will be 60 seconds or maybe 30 seconds. And once it hits 0, we can send a message start game. We can start countdown with 2 players joined, but we can test it with 1 player joined. So what we can do here is add a comparison rule. So we want to compare numbers, and when player has joined, I think we use that as the message. Let me have a look. So player joined sends a value of 1. So we can say here we probably need a variable players joined. Yes, we do. So we can say player joined, and we can compare players joined, and if it equals or greater than 1, it will send the message start countdown. We also want to show players joined and show game countdown. So let's go ahead and set something up for that. Show game countdown. I want that to be true. And show players joined, we want that to be true. No collisions, and we'll make that invisible with no collisions. Alright, we'll go ahead and save that. Alright, so we've got our money, we've got players joined, game start timer. So if we go over here, we haven't triggered it. So box, volume, all. Player joined, send 1. We'll go over to here. We haven't set a variable for that. So what we need to do is now we need a math rule. We want to add and subtract a number. And what we're doing here is when a player joins, player joined, we want the player joined variable to change by whatever is in the argument, which is 1. Once it does, we can do compare players joined, and we'll put that over here. Compare players joined, it will check if we have 1 or more players. If we do, it will start countdown. We don't want the countdown to show until start countdown is done. So what we can do here is first we'll change the variable and the countdown timer is start timer. We have 30 seconds. And we don't show that until start countdown is ticked. And that will be with show game countdown. So what I can do here is start countdown will spawn out this, which is show game countdown. So we're going to save this as a preset, and we're going to call it show game countdown. And we're going to make this an asset spawner. When the message start countdown happens, we're going to go ahead and bring out that preset again. And we want this thing to cover the whole map. So just make it 100 by 100 by 100. Go ahead, and we need to make it a plant so we can kill it with start game. Go ahead and save that, and we'll test it out. So there we go, it says players joined 1. Now we've got a start game countdown. And once that hits 0, let's make it smaller for testing. So we'll say 8 seconds. It's showing start game countdown. Give me a second. Okay, now we shouldn't see it at the start. We only see players joined and money. We can go ahead and spin the wheel for some money. I lost. We come over to the volume, and after a certain amount of time, the game should start. And we should see the floors start moving. There you go. So the battle has begun. So what we want to do is when the game timer hits 0, we want to teleport the players that have activated the lobby onto the battlefield. And once they're on the battlefield, give them like an 8-second buffer and then have the floor start moving. Alrighty. Start game. Duplicate. And we'll bring out our old preset for this one. And what we want here is to kill floor 1. We'll get rid of this. And we want to say false. And we'll save that as hide game countdown. And we'll bring it out of this preset spawner when the game starts. What we can also do is we can do text. I'm going to say go, just a space bar there. Is this HUD? How do I do banner? That's just text. So we do rules. We can do banner, and when start game happens, we can display a banner for 1 second or 2 seconds that says go. And we can send a message on close as well. But it does require a player. And we can probably, again, use the start game to display banner. Or we can say show go banner. And the same thing over here. We can duplicate this. This will spawn out an asset on start game. That's what we wanted. And we'll get the hide, and we'll change this to the thing that I was just doing, to show go banner. Okay. And that will touch everybody. We go ahead and say save that as a preset. Go ahead and delete that and bring that out here and save. Hey VBox, welcome. And now we have players joined, 8-second cooldown, and then at the end it should be a banner that says go for a second and hides the timer at the bottom again. So the banner has now disappeared. And we can change the players joined to players remaining. So what I can do here is probably change this to, I think it's just show players joined. I'm going to double check. Show players joined. And we want that to be false. And we'll hide players joined. We'll keep that on the side and we'll duplicate this. And this one here will use the same message, start game, but this one here will be hide players joined. Then we can duplicate this and we'll just do one more here. And we can say show players remaining. And I probably want to make that so if you need a message and you need to make it an argument, you misclicked it, you can go to File, Edit, Settings, you have Messages, Checklist, and you can find your last message at the bottom and you can delete it. So you can find all your messages here if you want to delete messages you're not using or accidentally made without an argument, and now it gives you an opportunity to redo that message. And we want that to be true or false. I'll say true. And that covers the whole map. And here we'll say show players remaining. And we can delete that and bring it out here. And we don't actually have a variable set up for that, so we'll go ahead and do that. Show players remaining, and the amount we want to show is players joined. And we'll have a true or false statement. And we'll save that and we'll test it out. You probably want to hide the money to, or have the money in the left corner rather at the bottom with the other stats. It feels more local in that way. So global stuff at the bottom, local on the left. I think is a good rule. Or a guide. There's no rules. So money, and we'll have that on the left side. Cool. So our money's on the left, players joins at the bottom. I can spin the wheel. I didn't win anything again. We can join a lobby area. Players joined 1, we've got a timer. Okay, now it says go, but it still says players joined, because I haven't made an individual variable for that, which will be players remaining. So this is players joined. Now all I need to do here is just do a number. Players remaining. And what we need to do here is use a rule called set number value. And what we can do here is we can say start game. We'll use the players remaining and use the variable for players joined. Show players remaining will be players remaining. And we'll check that out. So at the bottom we can see players joined, we see a countdown. Now it shows us players remaining. And if we're on the battlefield, oof, fall damage, I'll get rid of that. Um, yeah, you can see the floors getting smaller and smaller and decreasing the battlefield. So I'll go to the player, controller, and we don't need swimming and we don't need fall damage. We'll get rid of those. But I think that's it for today. So next time I'm going to do the teleport system. So when that countdown hits 0, we're going to teleport players onto different parts of the battlefield. There will be a pickable item that the players can use to summon things to push players off. And there will also be obstacles to dodge on here as well. So players will need to worry about like bombs, picking up wrong objects, and also avoiding other players who are trying to push you off the edge. So that's the idea. Once the battle's over, the longer that you lived, the more money you get. And once the round is over, everyone gets teleported back here. You get a chance to gamble your money or upgrade your abilities down here. So we'll add to this over time, and it will be like an endless resource gathering PvP sort of game. But that's the aim. Thanks for tuning in today, guys. Sorry it was a bit rough at the start, but next week I'll have a little bit more to show, and I'll have some NFT giveaways as well, so stay tuned for that. But have a great one. Thanks for coming, and take care. Bye bye.